Welcome to R&Bsauce. This is DJ Pineapples, and today we have a special guest on the show. She is Grammy nominated, has collaborated with artists like Lucky Daye, JoJo, and Destin Conrad, and she's just released her new single featuring Bayka called "Pick Up the Pace." Welcome, Mahalia.
Thank you for having me.
How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good. It's really nice to be releasing again. You know, it's just nice to like come back out the gate and like go again.
It's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been basically since last July, so about a year and a half, which is quite mad.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't even know how the time goes that quickly, because to me I'm like that my second album doesn't feel like that long ago.
I know. I remember listening to IRL and I was just like, yeah, project is crazy. We're going to get into that though. So the first thing I like to do on R&Bsauce is bring it back to the beginning.
Yes.
So I want to know, like, what are some of your first musical memories?
Oh, probably my parents, to be honest. My mum and dad actually still make music, but when I was a kid they had a band together. And I just used to watch them all the time. Like my dad would play the guitar, mum would sing, dad would also sing. They'd write songs. Sometimes I'd go to their gigs, which was like totally not allowed because it was in like pubs. And they would like sneak me in the back and put me right at the front and I'd sing all their songs. So that for me is like my first proper musical memory of like really being obsessed with it.
Wow.
And then I think that there was just music everywhere all the time. Like all of us in the house would be like playing something else. I would have a song on, my not a song, I would have an album on, my brother would have an album on, my another brother would have an album. Like everybody was just constantly playing music.
That must have been amazing though. And to like see your parents like performing and seeing that you can actually do that. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So what type of music would you say that you grew up with? Like in your household, what was you playing? What artists?
I was playing a real big mix. I probably listened to like a lot of stuff with my mum. So we would listen to like a lot of Corinne Bailey Rae and Adele. Like Adele's first album, I remember I had on like my iPod shuffle, and I would just, and it would like shuffle in the same order. I don't know if anyone. Yeah, like it was actually a really bad design, but it would like shuffle in the same random order. And then like Jill Scott and Angie Stone.
Yeah, that neo soul vibe.
Yeah. Like I was, and like Floetry was major for me actually.
Ooh.
So that all came from my mum, to be honest. And then when I got a bit older and I got interested in playing the guitar, I think that's how I started to find like the real kind of like slightly older, probably more like on the kind of folky, maybe at times acoustic soul vibe. Like Jack Johnson was really big for me when I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And obviously he was very different to everything that I had known. Like he was kind of it was so like acoustic guitar led, and the melodies were kind of poppy but also at times really soulful. And it was just really different. And like And then I went through my kind of sad girl phase at like 14, and that was when I found Bon Iver, and then I was just obsessed with Bon Iver.
Wow, that's a real mixture.
It really was, to be honest.
So you know, like you started singing at open mics when you was very young, right?
Like 11.
12?
Yeah.
So what was like your go-to song to sing?
My own songs.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing though.
And then I used to do a cover of Nicest Thing by Kate Nash.
Wow.
Yeah, which actually is a big tune. Like if anyone, that was on the Made of Bricks album, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it definitely was. And so I used to do a cover of that, and then I would sing all my own songs.
Listen, that's what you got to do. You got to plug yourself, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? So I know Ed Sheeran was a part of your journey.
Yes.
Very early
Sorry,
on.
I was obsessed with him too.
Yeah, and you supported him on tour.
Yeah.
So how did that opportunity come about?
So basically we met because we had a mutual. I was really young and I went to write with this amazing, brilliant woman called Amy Wadge, who's an incredible songwriter. And at that time, I had found out that she'd written a lot of stuff with Ed. So I was obsessed with Ed. So then I became obsessed with her. Went to Wales to go and write with her. And we just had the best time. And at that time, I was still really figuring out what my sound was. I was still playing the guitar. I was singing in like a very British accent.
Yeah.
Probably not the kind of more soulful tone that I have now. I was just like figuring it out, as you are when you're like 12.
Exactly. So young.
So then Amy knew that I loved Ed, and she took me to see his show in Wolverhampton. And then after the show, she was like, come with me. And like, you know, it's so funny now thinking about it, because obviously now I know what all the things in shows mean. So she would have given me a pass, like a AAA.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I'll stick it on me. And then she walked me upstairs, and then all I remember is her opening this door, and he was just sat there.
Wow.
And I was just like, what? Like, this is absolutely mad. And then my mum still had to drive me home because I had school the next morning. And what was really crazy, I think, was that I had been on this really long journey to try and get him to hear my music. And I'd met loads of people. I'd met loads of people through that. Like, that was how I met our lovely Jamal Edwards. That was how I met quite a lot of people. And it was all because I was on this journey to meet Ed. And then when I walked in, he said, "Is your name Mahalia?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Oh, I just got sent your SoundCloud link." So actually it was quite a mad thing, because it was like, I've just gone on this journey for a year and a half to try and meet you. And in doing that, I've met all these people, and I've been making my own music and putting it out and putting it on SoundCloud. And when I finally meet you, you already know me. So it was this really crazy, And then he asked me to come and perform with him.
Wow, what a moment.
Mental. And nobody in my school knew that I sang.
Really? You kept it a secret?
Yes, because I left my school in Leicester and I went to a performing arts school in Birmingham.
Okay.
And because it was a performing arts college, and by this point I had a record deal, I was like, I really don't want to be that girl that comes to this performing arts school to study acting, but has got a record deal. In my brain, I just thought, no one's going to like that. Because also, I don't know if I would like that. Like, I don't know if I would like, when you're a kid, envy comes out of you in such weird ways. And sometimes I think, if I was studying music and a girl came into this school and she was just like doing acting like for the fun of it, and she had a record deal, that might piss me off too. So I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want anyone to know. And also music for me was it was just about the love of it.
No, for sure.
And I didn't want it to be in school.
Yeah.
But then I supported him in Birmingham.
No, that is incredible. And I think like just, you know, being on like this journey to find him and being a fan of him, and then him knowing you, and also being, because I've heard that he's super humble and like a lovely person.
Yeah.
You know, when you meet people that you like admire and they're like so nice, it's just such a beautiful thing.
Definitely.
Because sometimes you might meet people and they are not that friendly to you, and you're like, it ruins it for you.
Yeah, and also the thing about Ed, like when you think about it, back then, he was so cemented in like London black culture and like kind of rap culture, and like he kind of felt like an anomaly in like such a really interesting way. And so I think everybody at that time, like if I think about those videos of like him and Devlin and like all those videos that blew up that like we'd be sending on like BlackBerry Messenger, like he represented something so major for so many of us, I think.
It's amazing to see, you know, him now, like what he's achieved. But Mahalia, let's talk about your album, IRL, okay? So one of my standout tracks is In My Head featuring Joyce Rice. I want to know, like, how did you guys get connected and how was that session?
So me and Joyce actually were connected prior to that. And I think we got connected because we were meant to do like a show together in the US, and it never happened. And then I just was following her and like watching her and her journey. And like, I love her. I think she's so incredibly talented. And then I made the song, and I think I just asked her to jump on it, and she was pretty up for it immediately. And we already kind of had the connection there, so it was just really like it was really nice.
Do you know what? I need to just say that you really know how to choose your features, because Destin Conrad, Joyce, like Lucky Day, Terrace Martin, then like Stormzy, like you really,
thank you.
You're incredible at that. You have a great ear.
Oh, I love that.
No, you do. Like, that's something
features is scary. It's
definitely
scary.
know.
Thank
So
you.
do you know what? Something else I've noticed is like looking at the credits that you are heavily involved as a songwriter on your projects.
Yes.
I want to know like how important is that to you to be involved in the creative process?
Very. Sometimes I'm not, and it really freaks me out, and it really hurts my ego.
Really?
Yes, of course. Because I think there's such a like weird kind of stigma around that stuff, and like I think it's quite rare now to like think of artists all as songwriters. Like, I think most people just believe that we just are these puppets that like just sing songs that are written for us, and so many of us do. Like one of my favorite songs from IRL was Cheat with Jojo, and I didn't write that. Like Emily, so Emily K wrote that song and gave it to me. And I love him and I love the song. And I just thought, let go of your ego and sing the song because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And also, you know, sometimes people are going to be able to write stories in a way that you can't.
Yeah, and I feel like Cheat is like something that we can all still relate to.
1,000,000%.
Do you know what I mean?
When I
So
heard
it's
it, I
not-
said, oh my God, that's literally me. Yeah.
So it's not like, you know, like if someone's writing a song for you, but it's like really personal to them and you can't relate, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just like when it's something that you've actually written, like I just feel like the connection as well, us as a listener, like we can hear that through the vocal delivery, you know? So Mahalia, you just dropped your brand new track featuring Bayka called Pick Up the Pace. And what a great track. I love the fusion of R&B and dancehall.
Thank
Can
you.
you tell us about creating that track?
Yeah, I mean, that was just on one evening in Kingston in May. We were working at a studio in Kingston, and there was quite a lot of us in the room. If I remember correctly, I wasn't very well. That's what I remember. So I remember I wasn't very well, and I was drinking like honey and ginger, and then Bayka came, and we met. We were kind of just gonna meet and like maybe make a record, but like you kind of, whenever that stuff's going on, it's best to not have any expectation and just either create or don't create, you know. But we met, we got on. He's a really, really, really calm, gentle guy. Well, to me, he was just lovely, and like it just made sense to like try and make something. And we were sat with a bunch of musicians. So everybody was just playing. Everyone was playing and vibing and singing.
That live music feeling is just different, isn't it?
Yeah, like it was just, we were kind of just jamming for quite a while, to be honest. And then it all started to come out. So yeah, I don't even today, when I was on the way here, I was trying to remember exactly what happened because I don't really remember. We were all just like in the room for like 3 hours, and then we came out and
you just created
we had
magic.
a song. Yeah,
that's the best way though. Like you're saying, like no expectations. Go in, have a vibe, and then that's how you do create greatness.
I agree.
So on your Instagram, you have a trailer called Love a Girl Till I Die.
Yes.
Okay? And you play some snippets of new tracks on there.
Yeah.
So I want to know, Mahalia, is there like a new album coming? Like what can you tell us?
It's not an album, I can tell you that, but there definitely is a thing coming with a good amount of music on it.
And you calling it Love a Girl Till I Die? Is there like...
That won't be the title, but there will be, something in there probably will be a part of the title.
Okay, and you know what, that second snippet, it really gives me like that Khalees and Andre 3000 millionaire vibes. I
think that's one of my favourite ones right now.
I'm excited.
That's a big vibe. You'll like that one.
I'm very excited to hear that. So do you know what I want to know? Like as an artist, I know you spend a lot of time in the studio recording. So when it comes to like releasing a project and, you know, like the process of deciding songs that are going to make the final cut, like what is your process with that?
I just choose and hope that the label agrees with me, to be honest. And if they don't, then we fight about it. But I don't know, actually. You kind of figure it out as you're going, like constantly putting everything together. Also, when you start sequencing it, things start making sense, you know?
In terms of like storyline and
exactly.
where the next song should go.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, so Mahalia, do you know, I also want to talk about your event, Mahalia Presents. I know you've been like championing artists like Lola Moxham, Tyler Lewis, Flo. And I want to know like how important is it to you to shed light on other talent in the UK?
I think it's incredibly important. Honestly, I think that's important in like in everything that you do. I don't think that. I think in order for us to be like the heroes that we want to be and like move forward in life, and stay humble and stay grounded, I think we have to make space for everybody coming after us. I think you have to let people stand on your shoulders, you know?
For sure. Do you know what? You like co-signing people, like what it means to them. I was literally in the studio recently with Lola and she was telling me about it. Yeah, but it's just like, it means so much to them and also it can give them so much encouragement.
Yeah.
So it is so important.
It is. But also because even going back to what we just spoke about, that's exactly what Ed Sheeran did for me.
Yeah.
And like, he just didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
And it completely changed my life. I don't know if I can change someone's life in that way, but I think at least just offering like a hand to hold for a second.
Yeah.
Because also it can be quite it's quite a lonely existence being an artist. You're always in your own head, you know, and like creating and like writing, you're kind of always right here, and it's quite hard to feel like people are with you while you're doing that.
No, for sure. So Mahalia, let's get into some questions about R&B, okay? So I want to know, what is your top 3 modern day R&B classics?
I have them written down. My top 3 modern day. Okay. Some of these are probably more like recent, but it's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my first one has to be Hours and Hours, Money Long.
Oh, what a song.
That's never gone away for me. Yeah. Like when that comes on in my earphones, I'm still like, So it has to be Hours and Hours. One of my favourite songs actually ever by her by Sasha Keeble, is Treat Me Like I'm All Yours. It was on her project. It was on her last project. And I just think it's absolutely out of this world.
Is just insane. I'm so happy that she's getting her flowers right now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because even like from when that tune was released, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, her vocals are
crazy. And then I would have to say, this is very recent. It's a song by a guy called Kamari.
I love Kamari.
Me too. And it's called Doctor My Eyes.
Amazing song.
And I think it's an important one for me to mention because I think that I just think it's really special to hear a man open up just about that kind of internal struggle that he's going through. And I just thought it was a really beautiful way to basically ask the doctor to just let me have the pills, please.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. His storytelling in that song I thought was absolutely timeless. And I think I will play that record forever.
No, I agree. I love the vulnerability. I think it is so important.
I agree.
So what about your top 3 R&B albums? But this is of all time.
This took me a little while.
It's a hard question.
Okay. D'Angelo Brown Sugar was very simple for me. I play that in the gym.
I love D'Angelo.
Which is mad because it's not really a rager. But like that's what I play in the gym. Destiny's Child, Destiny Fulfilled.
Oh, do you know what? Let me just say that it was like the 20-year anniversary like a couple of days ago.
Really?
I celebrated it on my show. Yeah, 20 years.
Do you know what it is about that one? There's no skips.
None.
You're moving through and you're like, yeah.
Every
and you
song.
know every single song. Also, I just think that kind of perfectly kind of wraps up my childhood, to be honest. And then my final one to my mum, I think, has to be Angie Stone, Mahogany Soul.
Amazing picks.
Yeah.
Amazing. So Mahalia, let everyone know your socials and where to stay connected.
Absolutely. You can find me just at Mahalia, and my name is spelled Mahalia. And that is on everything, wherever you socialise.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming on R&Bsauce. I can't wait to hear the new music. And I want to also say like how important it is what you're doing for R&B with the great music, but also championing others.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm going to be always supporting you on R&Bsauce, and thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was lovely to be here.